said that 44,000 to 98,000 Americans die every year as a result of medical errors. It's scary because you go to hospitals and doctors trusting that they know what's best for you and that they'll take care of you. But in some cases, it's the complete opposite. From doing brain surgery on the wrong side of the head to removing wrong organs. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Top 10 dark medical mistakes made on real people, part 2. Starting off this countdown, we have the organs removed by mistake. Back in 2017, 36-year-old Alicia Cook Moore sadly lost her mom to breast and ovarian cancer. After that, she decided to undergo genetic testing to see if she had the genes for the same types of cancers. Her doctor pushed for her to get this surgery done, saying that she had a really high chance at developing the same cancer that took her mother's life. So she had her breasts, uterus, and ovaries removed as a preventative measure. A few weeks later, after her surgery, she visited another doctor. This doctor informed her that the genetic testing came back negative, meaning there was no need for her to get all those surgeries done in the first place. It was all for nothing. In the end, the surgeries actually caused a lot of health complications and caused a number of follow-up surgeries. And again, this was all for nothing. In our 9th spot, we have the glove and compresses. Back in 2017, a 48-year-old woman underwent a hysterectomy to get her uterus removed. When she woke up from the procedure, she had terrible pains in her stomach and was unable to urinate. The doctor was all like, you're fine, here's some pain meds. 3 days after the operation, this woman started having contractions, and while going to the bathroom, she ended up delivering a surgical glove and 5 compresses. Yes, 5. These were left inside of her during the surgery. That must have been horrifying. And apparently it was, because this woman had to go to therapy for the psychological trauma that it caused her. In our 8th spot, we have getting embalmed alive. In 2018, a 28-year-old Russian woman needed surgery to remove some ovarian cysts. This is a routine procedure. It should have went pretty smoothly. Unfortunately, during the procedure, instead of getting saline solution, she was injected with formalin, which contains formaldehyde, which is what they use to embalm corpses. When the doctor realized his mistake, it was too late. They tried to wash out her abdominal cavity, but the formaldehyde had already poisoned her. Over the course of a few weeks, her organs started to fail. Shortly after, she passed away. Moving on to number 7, we have the wrong sperm. Just from the title, you guys already know what's going down here. Basically, back in the early 2000s, Thomas and Nancy Andrews wanted to have a baby. Unfortunately, they were having trouble conceiving, so they went to a fertility clinic in New York. That's where Nancy was inseminated and successfully became pregnant. However, after giving birth to their child, they realized that their skin was way darker than theirs. The doctor was like, that's normal, your baby's skin will get lighter. Obviously, this wasn't the case, and they had a DNA test done. Turns out Thomas was not the biological father, and they injected someone else's sperm into her. In the end, they sued the clinic. Not sure what happened after that, but wow. Coming in at number 6, we have Wide Awake. In 2006, a man named Sherman Sizemore underwent surgery and was given the wrong dosage type of anesthesia. Now, there are 2 kinds of anesthesia that people typically receive during surgery. One is a paralytic, which stops movement, and the other is inhalation anesthesia to prevent pain, and that's when you're sedated. He was given both. The paralytic anesthesia was properly administered, but the other was not. So he was awake for half an hour. He couldn't move or speak, but he could feel the pain of the procedure. Finally, the staff noticed and gave him more anesthesia and finished the surgery. But imagine that, you're just laying there, feeling everything, and you can't scream for help. Well, turns out that this experience really traumatized him. After the surgery, people said he would behave strangely. He hated being alone, he suffered from insomnia, and when he did sleep, it was all vivid nightmares. It got to the point where he couldn't take it anymore, and sadly, he took his own life. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the markings. In 2000, a woman named Leanna Geddes underwent a C-section to give birth to her first child. But for some reason, her doctor, Alan Zarkin, thought it would be a good idea or a funny idea to carve his initials into her abdomen. And so that's what he did. After the surgery, Leanna held up a mirror to her stomach and saw the doctor's initials. She was horrified. In an interview, she said that she felt like a branded animal. She continued on saying, and I quote, "It was supposed to be one of the most exciting times in my life. but it was a nightmare. Dr. Zarkin was immediately suspended after this incident. In the end, Leanna sued the hospital and the doctor and settled for $1.75 million. Now, this isn't really a medical mistake, but I mean, the dude did mess up big time, even though he knew what he was doing. In our fourth spot, we have the wrong side of the brain. When you're undergoing a serious procedure like one involving the brain, you would hope that the doctor would triple check to make sure that everything goes smoothly, right? Well, in this case, surgeons at Rhode Island Hospital in 2007 operated on the wrong side of a patient's brain. But guess what? This didn't happen just once. It didn't happen just twice. No. It happened 3 frickin' times on separate occasions. Sadly, the last time it took the patient's life. The neurologist drilled into the right side of the patient's skull when he was having bleeding on the left side, and the scans clearly showed the left side. Sadly, the man passed away from this mistake. In our third spot, we have the wrong lung. This next patient came in with a punctured lung. The doctor then had to collapse the lung in order to fix it. But the doctor had been on a 36-hour shift and was exhausted. In the end, he collapsed the wrong lung and the patient passed away. Sadly, the doctor was so traumatized and felt so guilty that he ended up taking his own life after being fired. In our second spot, we have the urine. I hope you guys aren't eating right now because this next story it's quite disgusting, not gonna lie. So this story comes from registered nurse Reddit user Nay32. A couple of years ago, he was looking after a man with liver failure. He came in to check on the man and brought him his pills. To then wash the pills down, he grabbed a cup from his bedside table. The man popped the pills in his mouth and took a big gulp from the cup. That's when he realized that the cup had his urine in it. I told you, it's disgusting. That must have pissed him off. Pun intended. But seriously, that's disgusting. But at least it was his own urine and not someone else's. I don't know. Sorry guys, TMI. And in our number one spot today, we have the screwdriver in the back. In 2006, a man named Arturo Iturralde needed to get a titanium surgical rod in his spine. But during his surgery, his surgeon, Robert Ricketson, apparently couldn't find the rods that they used for this procedure. So instead, he decided to take a screwdriver that was in the room with him, remove the handle, and insert that into the dude's back. What the heck? And of course this went terribly wrong, like what else would you expect? Within a few days, the screwdriver broke. In his back. In his spine. This led to a series of complications and worsened his spine. Arturo then had to undergo a number of other surgeries to fix this whole mess. Sadly, the man's life was shortened and he passed within 2 years. His estate filed a malpractice case against the surgeon and ended up with $5.6 million. But no amount of money will bring Arturo's life back. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which one of these stories you thought was the wildest, the craziest. And now, speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video top 10 recent time travel evidences that will blow your mind. Tyler Hendricks commented, honestly, I wish someone would pick me for something like this. It'd be a dream for me. Did you mean a comment shoutout or to go time travel? Not sure, but here's your comment shoutout. I can't offer you, to time travel, but here you go. Hopefully this does for you. I don't know. Saimer Almazin commented, if only I could turn back time. If I could turn back time. Share, right? I hope that's Share you're talking about. Observations by Bill. Okay, let's see what Bill observed here. He said, if everyone was gone in 2027, who is keeping the electricity running and why is everything so clean? That is a very good observation by Bill. Very good. Yeah, I don't know. I literally don't know. Who knows? Good job though, Bill. Bill Nye, the observation guy. Anyways, alright guys, that's all the comments I've shout out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya.